reading these intros when your superstar guests in the studio with you.
I know, right next to us,
Let us know
right
what you
here.
think, Damon. All right, OK, here we go. From the Britpop of Blur to the electric sound of the Gorillaz, it's fair to say that Damon Albarn's back catalogue is nothing short of varied.
Is that fair enough? Do you agree with that one? Were you
Eclectic.
Right, okay. Eclectic.
Okay. Right, when we do that again, right eclectic, Emily.
Yeah, OK. Now for his latest eclectic solo project. Get that. He's turned to the landscapes of Iceland for inspiration. Listen up, Damon. Come on, listen in.
If you get blown off course and filling in the parts of your life.
And then, as you can tell, everybody, Damon joins us
Good
now.
morning.
Good morning.
To see you.
I like to ask the most significant questions here on Breakfast, so I've got to ask you the main thing that's been bothering us.
OK.
What was with the mullet on that video there? Where's it gone?
Well, it's just gone. It was. I mean, it was. I don't know. It was.
You released it into the wild.
drawing too much attention, unnecessary attention to me. You know. I just when your hair's getting talked about more than your music, you realise it's. For me, that was.
Can I ask you one more question about the hair before we talk about the music? Was it Chris Waddle inspired?
Yeah, I think so. Chris Waddle. Yeah, that period.
That era.
That era.
Sort of Barry Venison, sort of that sort of football.
Yeah. I mean, you never know when you embark on a haircut like that how it's going to turn out. But no, I had to get rid of it though.
Did you love it at the time? Last question on the hair. Did you love it at the time?
I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I was actually in France at the time when it happened.
It's probably very stylish.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just normal there. But once I got back home, my daughter in particular was not,
embarrassing.
Was definitely not impressed with it.
Let's talk about the music then, because the new album is inspired by Iceland, and that's a country we've got some beautiful pictures behind us. This is a country you've been visiting for what, 20 odd years?
Yeah, I went there first in 1997. Yeah, I'd had this recurring dream as a kid of levitating over black sand and had no geography to it, and then I was in America. I really remember it vividly. I was in America watching TV, and there was a program about Iceland, and there was these wonderful panoramic shots of black beaches, and I realised that I had to go there.
This is it.
It was like calling you home.
It really was, yeah.
And did you find the isolation there helps you?
You see,
be more creative?
I mean, it is a very empty country. I mean, there's, 380,000 people, and it's the size of England, so you can imagine the space afforded to everybody. It's beautiful. It's just something about it. It's just so primordial, the fact that, there's this sense that there's an imminent eruption at any point. And
jeopardy.
A really lovely thing as well is that everyone's got really warm houses because it's all free geothermal heating.
Grow lots of bananas in Iceland, don't they?
Yeah, and
in huge greenhouses.
And tomatoes.
Yeah.
And
I'm enjoying this interview an awful lot. Hair and Icelandic bananas. Have you some of the stuff written about your new album? I know you produce what you like and your inspiration comes from wherever you are, but there's been some really lovely stuff written. Rolling Stone said the perfect soundtrack for a time when the world is emerging from the storm. One of the most beautiful, tangential produced artefacts of our strange and uncertain times. I mean, you must love reading stuff like that.
Well, I try not to read.
No.
Do you know what? I've always been kind of a bit perverse. I've always tried to only read the bad reviews.
Why?
Just because it kind of gives you that edge. You know what I mean? I think if you start kind of basking in kind of praise, sometimes it's not healthy. I don't know. I mean, it's all very confusing, really, when people start writing about you.
And when you read a bad review, how do you react to that?
Well, I just sort of try and take on board what they're saying,
So you don't disagree?
It's not about disagreeing or agreeing. It's just, I mean, because it's always just somebody's point of view and opinion, isn't it? So, I mean, it's not a big deal either way, really.
Who do you feel when you're sort of coming up with new music now? Who do you feel you're writing for now? Are you writing for yourself? Are you still writing for an audience? What's your process like?
Yeah, I suppose, I just take each thing as it comes. I mean, this was a really interesting thing to do, because I got asked what would I like to do, and I'd be. It's quite. That's quite actually when it's just a blank canvas. It's quite hard to decide where to go. And but I'd always wanted to make music looking out of this window in Iceland, and because of the circumstance of the commission, I was able to bring some orchestral musicians to Iceland and sit them in front of the window, and we did 3 workshop sessions over over a year, and yeah, just played the landscape really, and because outside my window, I mean, it's a bit like that, but behind it there's in the distance there's a volcano and a glacier, and the thing is that Snæfellsjökull, which is the name of the glacier, has receded really noticeably in the last 20 years. So I've actually watched kind of climate change in action, you know, and that was the kind of the inspiration for this record, to meditate on that and see where it took me.
And how upset are you by that when you watch that happening in front of your window?
Well, the weird thing there is it doesn't really feel, I mean, you're aware that it's receded, but it still looks so magnificent and beautiful, and you know, and it's still a very, very clean country in that sense. So yeah, but it's real, you know, so that's the thing. It is real, and its effects are real.
What are you going to play for us today? What track are you going to play for us today?
I'm going to play a song at the end of the record called Particles, which was inspired by an amazing conversation I had with a elderly female rabbi on a plane to Iceland. She sat next to me, she started talking to me, and normally I'm kind of panicked when I'm on a plane if someone starts like that. I'm just like, because I, you know, like most people, I just want to be quiet on a plane. But she was just unbelievably brilliant person. Yeah, and we started talking about particles and the kind of the way that, you know, in the universe, everything is kind of cause and effect, you know, so it's a constantly evolving thing. And yeah, and then I kind of connected that to the Northern Lights in Iceland, and the way that the reason we get this beautiful night sky is because of the particles coming from the sun and then dying when they hit the surface of the earth, you know.
You've talked it up beautifully. I can't wait to hear. Do you want to make your way over to our piano in the corner?
See you in a minute.
Yeah. While Damon prepares himself.
Quite early to sing, but I have
Okay.
to.
I'm sure.
We'll forgive
yeah, clear
you.
your voice while you
Yeah.
go. While Damon settles himself, the album is called The Nearer the Fountain, More Pure the Stream Flows, and he's about to play, as he said, a track called Particles for us, which was inspired by a chance meeting with a rabbi on a plane. Damon, if you're ready, we're ready. Over to you.
When the night patterns the room and black sands return, I will drift away from land as the sky begins its burn. Only you, darling, can call me back in, for the particles are joyous as they lie on your skin. The nearer the fountain, more pure the stream flows, and sweet are the rivers into which love grows. I have cried for you, darling. Are you coming back to me? For the particles are joyous as they lie on your skin. The particles are joyous as they lie on your skin.
Oh, come on. How's that for a Tuesday morning?
Oh, my goodness.
Has that got you a bit, that?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Beautiful. David, that was lovely.
Thank
you
you
very much. All the best for the new album. Man,
Thank you.
That's a gorgeous song. Thank you very much for playing for it live this morning on BBC Breakfast.
Do stay